The thing that I have done this year is to not even suggest to the students that they would work in groups. So I've tried to, after listening to Sagata and reading some of his book, really tried it to be a more of an organic type of situation. I've worked a lot on the big question and my introduction of the big question, like Ria said, trying to make it more of a discussion or hey, I was curious about type of situation to start with. As a class, do you think we could come up with this? Now they have the sources available to them. I have stations set up with computers in the room, and they naturally just kind of find their way to one of those groups. They find sometimes they find the same people. Sometimes they will move around and work with different people. But I've not even really said I want four people working in a group. Sometimes they most generally fit into three or four. I've had a couple groups that have tried to make as many as six in their group, and they start to realize, and through our reflection with them, try to make them realize six is not a really efficient number for small group working. But we've kind of stepped back when it comes to assigning groups or even saying, hey, I want four of you to work together. We've kind of freed it up a little bit, and it has. I was surprised how well they can self organize. I know it, I've read it and I've heard Sagata say it, but they certainly can. And I mean, there are going to be the hiccups, and I need to be better at using the assistant that Sagata suggested we use. But yeah, we've let them really choose more often than not, and we've had and yeah, I'm a skeptic. I was like, there's no way these students can choose their own groups and something be produced. And they've proved me wrong. The data says they can, and I would agree with that now.
Initially, I started with allowing them to form their own groups, but I would tell them, you need to get into groups or so many people to a computer. And I think, like Derek said, the progression is important. And after a while, I started just setting up the computers and then giving them the question and seeing where that went. And this is a new thing. This is after hearing Sugata.
Hmm.
And what's interesting about that is they intuitively know what to do.
Mm.
And I never thought to do it that way before until recently. But it is amazing. It's amazing how that works because they need to then sort of negotiate space and
Hmm.
find computers and work together, which is part of the entire process, right? Their interpersonal skills are so much at play just during that first 5 minutes of figuring out where to go. And I think what we need to remember as new facilitators doing Soul is that they're allowed to move around.
Hmm.
So the groups are not static groups. And the group presentations don't have to be static group presentations that these four people have to, at the beginning, then at the end, have to also present. So children are sort of fluid in the process. And if we keep reminding them that they're all working together, or that we are all working together to come to an answer, I think that really helps. And that sorts out the group dynamic
Hmm.
and also the disengagement, I think.